All right.
And we are live Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those
Is sponsored by
guys is
those guys.
sponsored by.
It was a little bit
It
of a
was good,
hiccup.
man.
I don't know what's going on. You can hear,
It
but
might be something.
you seem to have frozen on Zoom. So I'm guessing that that'll straighten out.
Well, I
Anyway,
look good on
until
okay on Zoom.
you're
It's just
back. You're back now.
I'm look like I'm frozen on.
Huh?
Looks like I'm frozen on YouTube, not on
You
Zoom.
were. You were for a few seconds.
Okay.
You were actually. But you're clear now. I don't know what's happening. They've been acting real funky for a while. So I don't know what the hell is going on. Here we go. Click on the live stream. And I am in the live stream.
So
Here we go. So what's good,
okay.
man? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I've been, you know, doing a little thing around here because I'm trying to put together some stuff here, and I want to do some changes to the whole setup of how we do the streams and stuff like that. We spoke on that and how I want to set up the studio and how things to be. So I want to change the location.
Yeah.
Is
I
basically what I'm looking to do.
okay.
Is change
All
my.
right. What's up, Tom? How are you?
How you doing there, Tom?
Lawrence, how you doing, Herman? How's everything?
Okay.
But I
You
can't.
look a little tired, man. Long day? Tom.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, very.
trust
And they
me.
just keep running into each other.
Oh,
Here we go. I just now got your alert for live. It just now came through. But anyway, welcome to Wednesday
yeah,
night
it
with
Just
those
looking into
guys.
everything.
delay or something. But I can't.
What happened?
It's like some type of a delay or something going on. I don't know what it is.
I think it's Zoom trying to unaffiliate themselves with YouTube because did
Yeah.
you see in the lower right hand corner where it says to go live on Zoom, where they've added now a separate Zoom feature now?
I didn't really notice. I wasn't looking for it. I was just trying to, you know, get everything started.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Michael Blades? How are you, sir? Well, today was one of the best the not so good days for me, but
Hmm.
in a way it was good, but not so good.
Okay.
Welsh Rob, how are you? Yeah, everyone's starting to get the alerts.
Hey, Welsh Rob. Blade.
How was your day, Tom? I mean, uneventful.
Who, me or Tom?
Busy. My days start. Well, it's nonstop all day, but I can't complain. I'm blessed. I have a job,
Okay.
providing
Me
some
too.
kind of benefit, so can only count my blessings at this point.
Right.
Yeah, the same here. Like I have my updates on my computer. My computer doesn't do any updates
Hmm.
unless I get a notification. And I had erased Windows Explorer, not Windows Explorer, the browser, Internet Explorer, out of my computer because I don't use it. And then all of a sudden I cut my computer on because my wife uses the computer all day to work. So to clear memory and everything, to go to my side, I restart and it started updating. And I'm like, what are you updating? And it was that stupid, it's trying to get me to install that Internet Explorer browser, which I don't use. So it tied up
Oh,
about 10 minutes of time.
Microsoft Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Microsoft Edge.
you're trying to, dude.
Well,
You're
it's
in the
part of the
Microsoft.
operating system. So they want you to have it whether you use it or not.
hmm.
That's
You know,
that's
the
pretty
same
much.
engine
Yeah.
that runs your File Explorer runs your Internet Explorer. Everything's intertwined for a
Yeah,
reason.
and this
That's why there
part
were
of
so many, you know, lawsuits against them.
Yeah, because it's a part of Windows 10,
Okay.
whether you use it or not, they want it in your
Yeah.
machine.
Antitrust lawsuits. Yeah.
Yeah, so it did the update, but I haven't installed it. So I'm wondering if it's gonna.
Right.
I'm waiting for the icon to pop up so I can just get rid of it again. But either way, I agree with you, Michael Blade. I'm tired of all the news and bull crap too. You know, I just wish everything would get back to back
Hey,
to the
Welsh
norm.
Rob, how are you? Yeah.
Huh?
Normal, the normal.
No,
Embarrassed
semi.
by what's happening in the country today. Just, a little depressed. Those of us that live in the United States, we take pride in what we call our democracy. So
Yeah, yeah, and
we
the
can
rest
only
of the
hope for the
world.
best and leave. Look, I believe everybody's due their opinion. Okay, I'm a middle
I
of the
agree.
road, independent. I'm one of those people who feel a two-party system is like a bad marriage. Okay, and we're the kids sitting in the corner listening to them
What's
argue.
up, Eddie?
We're still not getting fed. So we can only hope
Well,
that we come out of this a little bit
somebody
stronger.
posted something on. We're just killing time till more come in, but somebody posted something on YouTube.
Yeah.
They said if you divide $600 by 365, you get $1.64. And he kind of made it like a commercial. He said, "Would you sponsor an American for $1.64 a day?" I mean, some may get it,
Well,
some don't.
there's
No, I totally get it.
what gets me crazy sometimes is the fact that, and hey Eddie, how are you, brother? Yes, I'm very embarrassed by what's going on and how we look to others. But you turn around and it's how things are portrayed too. So you got to really be diversified in looking at news, and so that you can make your own decisions and not base them on just one network or one broadcast entity or one cable program that might have its own agenda.
Right.
But you look at what's going on and you say, okay, here we propose we're going to give everybody $600. Well, not everybody. If you make below a certain amount, right, you
Right.
get $600 check. But at the same time, the media reports we're giving this country $11 billion. We're giving this country. That's because they have to separate these bills. One is a COVID stimulus bill, a survival bill basically for the citizens. Hold that out on its own. Don't put in all the pork barrel crap into there. There's a separate Appropriations Act. And remember that we just got through December, so you had to fund the government again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now when you portray it this way and you throw everything in one pot, it looks like, hey, we give every $1,793 and we only $100. Okay. So of course that looks like we're upside down. So either explain it to the citizens and let them know what you're really doing. And I still have a problem giving Egypt that much money. Okay. Sorry if you tuned in for me, but look, we have to invest here in this country. We got to keep people alive. We got to keep people fed. The homeless situation, what's happening right now
Is
on the West
ridiculous.
Coast. We're here in New York. We suffered back in March, April, and May, right? I mean, it's off the hook right now out there.
It is.
I mean, they have to make decisions on whether they, this is the sad truth. They're basically triaging. If they don't think you have a chance of survival, you're not going into an ICU. So you're even being denied that opportunity. So, we got to come to grips with what's going on here. Otherwise, it's going to be real hard for us to save up the dollars we need for that next DJI product that comes out.
Well, not to be, too political here, but, what the statement you made earlier was best said about us not getting fed. It's just funny how, and it's something that has bothered me for the longest time, how the taxpayers, they pay their taxes. The government, the lawmakers, they take our tax money and provide the best health care that money can provide for them. and for their families, and it keeps their salaries going. But yet, when in time of crisis, they look at us and call it a handout.
Yeah, and that's a sad truth, right? I mean, part of the problem here is a lack of participation by the citizens themselves. Okay. So when we tell our elected officials whether we agree with them or not, only happens every so many years when they're running for re-election. No, we should be hounding them constantly. When we agree with them, we should let them know. When we disagree with the vote that they're taking on our behalf, we should let them know. If I send my kid to the store to buy me milk and he comes back with orange juice and I already have orange juice and didn't need it, I have to question, but that's not what I asked for.
Okay.
So we would question our
Sorry
kids,
about that.
but we
I'm back.
would question those we put in charge of our futures. I mean, come on. You got to question politicians. You got to ask them the hard questions. And when you don't agree with them, you got to let them know. I mean, they're representing you.
True.
And the problem we have here is we need a coalition government. We need a government that can work together, more bipartisan. Just the word bipartisan, gets me crazy. We got a two-party system. We're not supposed to have a two-party system. There's something called independence. There's something, we need diverse representation. And we got to stop this. We're Americans. We're Americans first.
True.
But that also means we got to have each other's back.
You're right, Tom. You're right. But right now, we're dealing with this virus, and I just think that people need to call on humanity. I just think that we're a little bit crazy right now. But I don't want to continue to harp on the politics, but
no, but I mean, if this were an Netflix series, we're into season 2, buddy. We're into 2. I didn't want to watch it this long. Okay, I'm ready to move on to something else.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, but like Lawrence had asked me earlier when we first started, like how things been going. I've just been so busy going back and forth to the doctors and different things here and there. I'm just trying.
Hey, Flyby. Welcome. Well,
situation.
Getting on with all of that stuff, enough people are seeing that on the news. Thank you guys for coming back to Wednesday nights with those guys. We have a few decent topics to talk about tonight, and I look forward to one in particular. As Herman will when he segues into it, I'll go, ooh, me, but I'll wait for that moment to come up. How are you guys in the chat though? How's your week going so far? And hopefully it's going well.
Flyby guys, hey, Welsh Rob, what's going on?
Well, are you still in Dubai, Flyby guys?
It is hump day.
Yeah, the middle of the week, which means it's hump day.
Yep.
You remember that commercial? Paul was talking about that earlier with the camel.
Yeah, they got rid of them quickly.
One of the best Geico commercials ever.
Yes. Hey,
Geico's got some good ones. I mean, they're the stupid commercials.
They actually were the ones that set it off with those funny commercials with the insurance company.
Oh yeah, no, and then Progressive with everything started going from a colorized world to where just everything was white, and now with Flo, who's a personality herself, plays every part in her family. I mean,
yeah,
but that's the AT&T girl, and now the Toyota woman, and
But have you seen the one there was it's a Christmas commercial? I believe it's a home insurance commercial.
With the policy.
Right. He gets this big box, the big yellow box with the home insurance.
Yeah, that's what the kid gets for Christmas.
And he's happy. And his brother got a bike and he's upset and he kicks the bike and he asks, "What do you got for Christmas?" He goes, "I got a bike," and he kicked it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bike.
I
Yeah,
was
well,
like,
yeah, Christmas morning for a future insurance salesman.
there you go. There you go. Well, you know,
Well, or the other one, the other Liberty Mutual one is where the guy is, he's a street ad at Battery Park in a cell phone costume, and then he gets wet, and then he has to dive into a giant bag of rice.
Yeah. So
Okay, I mean, the stupid. You know what? They're making them so stupid. It's just like, I'm sorry, I have to admit this now. Okay,
brain
I'm
melting.
coming out with something. I like Dumb and Dumber. Okay, so you give me a movie like Dumb and Dumber, which is completely stupid, idiotic. I'll laugh like a buffoon.
Because
Okay,
that's
there's
entertainment.
no redeeming quality into it. It's so stupid, it's
Yeah.
funny, and that's what these commercials are. They're so stupid, they're funny.
It's
Mark,
true.
did you see that one though with the cell phone ad?
Which
He wiped himself off, but he was still wet on inside the suit. So he dove into this big bag of rice and said rice.
Yeah,
It was a big Ziploc bag with giant rice in it. So you got to give it to Madison Avenue, huh? The advertisers
I had actually
earn their
wanted
money.
to get into commercial advertising at one time, and you need to be almost a strange kind of crazy, because they'll give you a product.
Oh, cutthroat!
You need to
That's
make a
cutthroat.
commercial around it. You need to make a commercial around it. They'll give you a saying or a quote, and you need to be creative and use it. And not everybody can do that. It's almost like being a musician and writing a song. Not everyone can do it, and if they could, we.
Oh yeah, sure. No.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's a hard life too, man. You're judged on
Constantly under pressure.
on the success of your last project.
Constantly under pressure,
sure.
But I give these guys a hand because they're making me chuckle. That's some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, you got to enjoy them.
Yeah.
No flyby.
I mean, we could go on all night with the best commercials, please.
I was just asking, are you still in Dubai? Because that gives us it. Well, YouTube doesn't have it, but I like to kind of pay attention to the international subscribers and supporters to the channel, because Herman and I slowly come to the conclusion that our fan base outside of the United States is building with those guys, and we've talked about it. I will check that out. The Dubai drone light show. I was asking the flyby guy how are the drone rules there, because I know some people that went to some parts of the world over there and they were told, leave your drone home, don't bring it on a plane, it won't make it out of the airport. And then you have these rich guys, sheiks and princes over there flying $160,000 drones. So I was just wondering, it would be good.
Stop being jealous.
I am. I'm hating right now, right? Because that $160,000 drone was something that they use to and they use, of course, commercially to inspect lines and everything like that. And I just thought it was strange that the common folk can't fly there, but the rich can.
Hey.
But we won't get into that because similar stuff.
Were you born yesterday?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know, Tom. It's just I'm hating right now.
It happens all the time and everywhere.
It's just the reality sucks, right?
Yeah. Yes. I have a popular saying. I'm starting to say it more than I used to last year. It must be nice.
Well,
J-Lo sells her $22 million apartment in Manhattan. She didn't, but I'm just saying this is new. If this were to be news, you're like, oh.
Do you realize there's cable channels just dedicated to that? Okay.
Yeah, there are.
And it's also, I found out that 2021, I thought 2020 was bad. Now 2021, come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's going on out there? But one of the stories that we were going to talk about tonight was the one with Sony and the Airpeak.
Yeah.
Well,
Airpeak.
apparently, from what I'm understanding, is that we might see that in the spring of this year. So, you know, from what I understand, there was first rumored that patents on this leaked images of this drone back in 2018, but then they said U.S.
This
submitted
was what they leaked, actually. Keep talking.
October. No, that came out on October. That was around October of what 2019 that a patent was supposedly uh, filed. I don't know.
Right.
Basically, what I was looking in this article, and now somewhat here from what I'm understanding that they show in this article from what I'd sent to you, Lawrence, there was all of the information on this patent that was filed, and it was published January, I believe that is, of 2020.
Right.
So if you guys had saw it, I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at it.
I've been trying to
So
make
our buddy
heads
over at Drone Valley did a very good look.
I've been trying to make heads or tails
If you haven't caught
where
that,
they're going.
yeah.
And I honestly can't tell you if they're going commercial or prosumer. But Herman had sent me a picture.
No.
From what I saw with this, I don't think that this is.
They filed for a patent, guys.
Yeah, they did.
Filed for a patent.
True.
Yeah,
it's out there already. It's out there already.
Information right there, Lawrence, and the pictures. When you look at what they have here, I don't believe that this is something that's looking to compete with what we've been used to flying with DJI and even Autel and the other things they had. Because I'm looking at this, I'm looking at something that looks like they want this to be more autonomous, and basically this is something fits into that market where a lot of other people have failed with somewhat of what we've always been talking about with this selfie drone thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the great,
absolutely, and it's a
picnics and
it's a huge market
together.
I'm looking. You sent me a link, Herman, and I don't see it now.
That I sent you.
Can you send it in Messenger? Because I wanted to pull up the picture of it.
That's where it is.
Huh?
It's in Messenger.
So I was the patent filing. The patent filing is somewhat vague because it has to be, okay, because you don't want all your trade secrets stolen by others.
That's understandable.
But Sony's going after that market that hasn't been addressed properly. Exactly. Basically, something that's a completely hands-off, and you know what, properly timed, especially with flight over people that was announced by the FAA. This kind of falls right in there because this is going to be a sub 250 gram, basically just a little self-contained package that you'll remove the controller for, and out will pop ducted fans, ducted props.
Right.
And now it'll lift up out of your palm, okay, and it will have facial recognition.
Hey, Big Matt, you got an invite.
Banking, meaning it can remember your face, my face. If we're often together, it can remain both of us. Thank you, Sony, for joining the Google world. It'll remember us so that when we put it up, it will frame the two of us using AI. And then also, it'll probably have features like it'll be able to do a drone away, or it'll be able to do
a little autonomous,
a small planet, or an orbit around you. So, catch you. Remember, there's now Sony is going after it as a camera platform, a selfie camera platform, not a drone. So the difference is you don't really have a controller.
Okay,
your controller is basically going to be something that you select which
keep talking,
mode,
Tom.
and
I got
that's
it on
as far
screen.
as it goes. Because even with the patent that was submitted, they had a workflow, and that's what I really enjoy. I like to look at the workflows in them, because the workflows really tell you how the real function of the device is going.
Right.
So the workflow is basically very simple on the user part. Everything is handed off to the drone to do itself.
Yeah.
So they filed a patent.
But it is ducted,
the
and
FCC
keep in mind, patents,
Yeah.
like you said, Tom, are very, very generalized.
Now, what you're showing on the screen, right?
Oh, hold on, I'll bring it back.
Basically, those, bring it back up.
It's
Those are spring-loaded ducted motors. Okay, so actually they fold back in, and
they
a cover
fold
goes
into the
on
actual
it,
case,
and that cover is
yes.
actually
And
into the actual case. And the camera, what they're saying right now is based upon the
this should be the
filing,
camera.
It appears the camera is not gimbaled, by the way.
No, it's
But
not.
you know
Actually,
what?
where I'm circling with the
need
mouse
to,
is the
because-
actual camera.
Well, Sony is renowned for their stabilization capability, so that's what they're building into this.
It would be
So it's going to be electronic stabilization.
It would be
Can I say
interesting
something
to
to you
see
guys?
where they're
Look at
going
the
with it.
video. If you look at the
that
video
on?
that's attached, if you look at the video that's attached to that article that I sent you guys,
This one here.
it shows
Hold
that
on.
drone flying.
Yeah.
And that drone can actually fly.
The second or first one?
Not that video.
Not this one. This one down here.
No. Go back.
That's it. There's one here, YouTube here. Sony launches drone project.
Keep flying past the video, and you won't be able to hear me. Stop.
Stop.
Go back to the video.
Right here.
Hey guys, I'm getting sick.
Okay. Now stop. You see, when it gets to the end, it's going to show you a list of other videos.
Okay, I got you. It's almost done. A few more seconds, because this is just showing the prop here.
Right.
Drone Psych, how are you from Queens? We got a few people
Yes,
in
welcome.
here from Queens, Drone Psych.
Guys, I'm here.
It sounds like
I'm
Matt.
trying to find the
How are you,
actual
Matt?
section.
Well, I actually sent it to you by itself, another video on this.
Here it is. Airpeak, they have one here. Mix Sony. That's the only other one I see here. But
So
yeah,
one thing
that's the same project. That's the same thing.
One thing they've accomplished here is, think about it, the new rule for flight over people in category 1, which is at sub 55 0.55 pound or
This
sub
is it
250
right here,
gram
Tom.
drone.
And
This
if you
is
look at
definitely
it,
a sub 250 gram
if you
drone.
look at it folded, you can see
Right,
it
that's it all
obviously will
closed up
fit in
there.
your pocket.
Well, the video that Sony actually put out that was leaked on this drone, when it was showing it flying, talking about the camera not being gimbaled. The drone can actually fly. Well, not drone, but camera. It can fly, and the camera will actually shoot sideways, and it can turn, and it can fly the other way, and it'll shoot that way as well. So they never showed the drone itself. They only showed the image of it.
Okay.
The image.
Okay. What's up, man?
All right, how you doing?
Okay. I was in another window. I heard you come in.
I work background.
Yeah.
On today, I rinsed my last night.
Oh, sorry.
So what's good, man?
Ain't nothing much.
Okay.
So look, Sony's going after that. Sony's going after that real consumer market there.
Well, if you think about it,
so this is going to be something that's affordable, that you will be able to walk into Best Buy, be on Amazon,
250 gram, right? And the
most
and
they satisfy the requirement for that category 1 that I was ready to say, was because now they prevented laceration to human skin by ducting those motors and props.
Now
so they've addressed that too, which is
what was interesting about
so that has to tell you that Sony's got their finger into the ARC also, with the drone, with the DAC on the Drone Advisory Committee.
What are you saying, Herman?
The cover on it.
Yeah.
The shroud that goes over it, once the motors fold in, there's a shroud that goes over it. That's actually your controller.
That's your controller.
Yeah.
I don't want to actually call it. Hey, Ray, I don't actually want to call it a controller, so to speak, because it's going to let you start it. Okay, it's going to let you select the mode, and that's
Right.
about it.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
and then the other thing, it's going to tell you to put your palm out so that it can land itself again.
right.
Okay,
Well,
so it'll
I'm
be very
interested to
interesting to
see.
see.
I'm very interested to see where they're going with this because, as you know, DJI
It's a
tried it
selfie cam.
with the Tello. They tried it with the Spark, and the Spark was supposed to be more geared towards women. Because if you notice, they came out with a black one, a white one. Then they
It
started adding
doesn't fit in
colors,
your purse.
yellow and blue. Right.
It
It
doesn't
does
fit
not
in your
fit in your
purse.
purse. And that was the only downfall to the Spark
Depends on the
because
person you carry.
if you know, like we do here in New York, they flew the said there's an individual that flew the hell out of that Spark. Okay.
It depends on
And
it
there's
depends
no
on the
way in the world you can tell me that that Spark wouldn't have been a great introductory drone for people who are in the
Yeah, Michael
selfies and
Blade. It's a selfie drone. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
because look. This is a sales. This is a sales hound for them. There's no doubt about it. Okay, they're going to release something in time. Hey, let's get back out there in the world.
yeah,
We're all getting
well,
our shots. Let's get back there out in the world and let's record
right. But everybody
ourselves.
wants
And
everybody wants well, not everybody, but their concept, to, at least what I'm thinking where they're going is everybody wants to be able to pull something out of their pocket. And instead of going like this and going like that, you pull it out of your pocket, you hand launch it, it takes off and autonomously at a gesture or peace signs or whatever, it snaps photos at you and then comes back and lands. No
yeah,
one
it'll
seems
recognize
what I thought was interesting, like I
your
said, I go back to that video, was that they
face. You'll probably
actually showed the camera going up the side of the building, looking sideways. And when it got to the top of the building, it leveled
see.
itself
That's interesting.
the
I want to
video,
see that
what was going
because
on up there.
with ducted props, how is it flying sideways unless
I
those are
have
turning
no
also?
idea.
But I
That's
didn't
how
see that.
the video was shot.
Hmm. Maybe the
So
camera.
hey drone
Maybe the
fox.
camera has. Maybe the camera can reorientate itself into a portrait
really,
mode. I don't
really
know.
don't know because they never
Yeah.
showed the actual thing.
If
They just
this
showed it.
I would imagine that
Mhm,
Sony's going to build into it.
mhm.
Okay, a minimum of 3 modes. They'll build a widescreen mode. They'll build a 4x3, and they're going to build a square Instagram mode.
Mm.
So that you can stream instantly to Instagram.
Yeah, nobody ever
Okay.
had a move like that for Instagram. Yeah.
well, you might as well
Yeah,
say
well,
social
Right.
media
that
because
would be a big
today
thing
it's
because
Instagram, tomorrow it may be TB
Well,
gram,
yes. Yeah,
you
but
know.
well,
but
well,
but
well, Instagram is
you
big.
know that selfie market, that's where the largest footprint is.
Mm.
Yes, and no
Okay.
one has control of
Is
it
in the
yet.
Instagram world.
No one has control of it
No.
yet. But somebody's gonna reach. Else Meghead,
Yeah,
how are you,
what's
sir?
going on, man?
And I
Drone
lost.
Fox. What happened?
Uh, Joan Fox Ireland says I lost my nice blue look. I don't know if he was an admin. I have everyone in orange, and only my name is in blue. So I don't know. I can't see if he's been modded or what. But at one time, we used to have it. The only way you could get modded was to come on those guys. So,
Okay.
with the new year coming in, we don't know. But what's good, Matt? What's going on, man?
Pretty much trying to get my little space together, being that I'm home today, trying to do little things, not trying to do too much though. I'm
Yeah,
back.
oh, I
Okay.
understand totally.
I'm back.
Um, I, I'm still trying to organize the house for the new year. I plan on redoing this wall at some time and point because my actual issue is because my wife uses this desk for
Mm.
work. All of the papers and stuff are here, and when I want to work on a drone, I have a little TV dinner table, and that's not good for the back or posture when you're 6'3" sitting on a couch. So I invested in a foldable wall table. So what I plan on doing is putting it across here at a height that I could work at, which is similar to this desk here, and then putting a pegboard across to hang all the birds on. So this way, when my nephew comes, he actually sleeps right here. So when he comes, he can fold the cot out. I could fold the table down, and he could fold the cot out, and he has his area where he can sleep when he visits
Okay.
us. Joan Fox Ireland says, "I'm glad to be on Zoom anytime." Okay,
Okay.
we will make a mental note of that. You definitely
Sure.
make a mental note of that, and see if we can get you on Sunday nights with those guys or something to that effect. Um, as far as getting back in the drone news,
Well, Walmart's back on the scene
Uh-oh.
with their drone delivery, but Walmart seems to be going to Arizona.
yes,
Well, from what I got here, Walmart delivery, drone delivery hub, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Pea Ridge, Arizona.
I didn't until you
Well,
sent me the article.
well, it's a little, well, it's a little town renowned for its lovely scenery and its Civil War history.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if the local planning commissioner approves, it will be the site of Walmart's drone delivery hub.
right.
Now,
Where did you
this,
say? Did you say Arizona, or do you
Yes,
mean
yes. It's
Okay,
I
actually
believe
Pea Ridge,
Pea Ridge.
PEA Ridge, Arizona.
Amazon.
Are we sure? Because Arizona wasn't in the Civil
Well,
War, by the way, guys.
according to the article, it says Pea Ridge, Arizona is
Is it
a little town
Arizona?
renowned.
Is Arizona spelt out, or is it
No,
just the
AR.
initials
It may
AR?
be Arkansas.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's Arkansas, guys.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Arkansas.
Then that's my then
okay.
Okay,
that's
thank you
my
for joining
then that's
AR.
my bad.
U.S. geography.
That's my
Okay.
bad, not knowing my states.
I was trying to say when you said
No,
they had
that's my
Civil
fault,
War
actually.
stuff, I'm going,
Whose
hey,
that
wait a
is,
second, man. If I'm
Arizona
not
wasn't in the
mistaken, that
Civil
might have been
War.
the Mexican Civil War. Okay, the Mexican Civil War,
That's
maybe,
now
but
see,
not
that's
the
what I
It
was
U.S.
says
Civil
thinking.
War.
history in
Okay.
the article.
That's now see,
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
was
That
thinking.
must have been it. Yeah.
It didn't say whose history, but
It's okay. We fact
this,
check
this,
on this channel.
Yeah,
Okay.
good. I'm glad you corrected that. 'Cause
this site will be the site
AZ, by the way, for the rest of
Walmart's
these that want to know what the actual
AZ.
drone
initials for
delivery
Arizona are, it's AZ.
delivery.
Yeah, fact check.
All right.
There
That's my
we
bad.
go.
I'll jump on the
It's
grenade for
okay.
that one. I'm jumping on the
It's
grenade
okay.
for
This
that
is
one.
going to be an outtakes video at the end of this coming year. Okay.
Yeah. We could probably have a few.
Well, anyway, this will
So
be
what
the
are they
site
doing,
of
Walmart?
drone-
What are they up to now?
Well, this will be the
The
site of their
nefarious
drone
folks at
delivery
Walmart.
hub, where their trials, that they could try in their drone delivery hub from out there in
Pea Ridge.
yeah, Pea Ridge.
Ridge,
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Now,
Arkansas.
Arkansas, these trials will be carried out by and executed by Zipline International in partnership with Walmart. Now
Right.
they announced this program last September, and I made mention of it once on one of the streams. I'm not sure if it was on Sunday or it was on Wednesday. Probably was on Wednesday. That when Walmart wanted to get their drone delivery going, that they went to Zipline, someone who was
Already
already
established.
already established in the business and had been doing this for quite some time and helped them get this going. So, and I think Tom had mentioned that that was smart for them to do, because now you don't have to build that from the ground up. You already have someone that has this going.
Right.
Jump on the technology.
And Zipline, for those of you who are not familiar with Zipline started in Africa and is now internationally known. Their accuracy record now, I'll pull up a video at
Oh,
some
they're
time
big
and point while we're talking about it, but their accuracy, they don't have drones that stop and hover. They have a launch catapult system. The drone can go out on a radius of anywhere from 50 miles, which is basically the size of Connecticut. And literally, it flies over a target, and due to computer systems and computerized drop systems, they can land within an accuracy of about 50 to 75 feet. And the plane goes back, and it's actually launched by catapult and caught by a retrieval system, sort of like the aircraft carriers. It drops a hook, and the hook gets caught into. I'll see if I can pull up a video while you guys are talking about it now. So if you're
Well,
not familiar with zip line, you're going to be hearing it in the United States a lot.
well, basically, that's really the story in a nutshell. Pretty much that they've, they're announcing that this is where they're waiting on this planning commissioner to approve it, and once it's approved, that's where that site for their training to get this going will be.
Well, P Ridge is just a hotbed of activity. Okay, they got a whole 7,000. No, I'm sorry, estimated at 6,211 fine citizens. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, if you guys want, to see Zipline after this commercial clears, I'll actually show you the system that they've been using in Africa for well over a year and a half now. Okay, give me a second here to run this up.
P Ridge up to this point has been infamous for hog peanuts and turkey peas.
Well, I'm not familiar with.
Okay, so they're really.
Here's Zipline. Yeah. It's a catapult launch system. Yes. Huh?
Yeah, so this is a system that actually is, if you see some of the longer distance drone manufacturers, they are using fixed wing. It has a better endurance rate,
right?
And it so it's for the longer haul stuff. The fixed wing is the best approach to take.
I didn't want to show too much of it, but
you can cover a
I'll
lot
actually
more ground.
put the link, and you guys can click on it and watch later. But Zipline has been around for a while, and seriously, they were invited to the United States to introduce their system and show us how it's done. So the fact that they're teaming up with Walmart is just the beginning of things.
Again, so BMAC is saying he's got 70-foot oaks and pines around his house with a pool in the back, and he wants to see a badass drone pilot that can deliver to my house. Well, it won't be a badass drone pilot, I'll tell you that, because it's going to be completely
Zipline can drop
autonomous.
it.
It's going to be autonomous.
Right, it's fully autonomous.
Basically,
you're going
to get sent an enrollment package. It's just like if you've ever done, ran a little business on your own as an entrepreneur and you needed to take payments. We first started out, the best way to start out, with the smartphones was with Square. You could sign up for a Square account. They would send you a little reader. You plug it in. You can swipe credit cards. When you go to Walmart and you sign up for a drone delivery, the first package you're going to get is going to be probably conventional mail, and it's going to be a landing pad.
Yes.
And they're going to instruct you when you go buy something to go outside your door and throw the landing pad in front of your house, at 10 o'clock because your delivery's coming at 10:15.
Now, keep in mind,
that's basically the way I see it pairing out to begin with. But it's not going to be in urban settings. Look at P Ridge, okay? It's farmland. It's you might have a group of people living in city center or a town center, for lack of a better scale, but it's mainly rural. And if it's suburban, it's dense. It's sparsely populated suburban area.
Well, you figure the average rain,
that's where I think it'll get the Met
is going to be 50 miles, and they can get you your package in an hour or less within that 50 miles. So they may say you may receive a text on your phone, your package is just launched. Go outside in 5 minutes. go outside in 15 minutes. And you go
Yeah,
outside, and that
there's
particular
several.
landing pad, like Tom mentioned, it'll lock in on that particular landing pad, or it may just be a designated area. Who knows?
And realize a lot of this has to deal with the scale of the devices they plan on using.
True.
Also, they're not going to be using the same size devices they use on the African continent. So they're going to come in different scales. In all likelihood, they're going to deliver packages below 3.7 pounds. That seems like the magic payload number if you're going to maintain any kind of endurance rate with the current battery technology. And in most cases here, they're going to do a either glide slope or parachute recovery
Yeah.
on the back end side of it when it returns.
Flirty
I mean,
big.
like anything else, they have to work out the kinks. What was that?
Right.
Herman?
And the box,
The one that
they're only
Flirty
going to
had-
be within reason. What were you saying, Herman?
The one that flirty, the one that they have looks like it's a pretty good sized drone though.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand with Zipline, I don't know the exact
Yeah,
measurements,
it's still.
but it's basically a foot by foot cube with the parachute drop system. And they've tested it in different countries, and the accuracy rate of their drop system, like Tom said, when you register for Walmart drone delivery, the first thing you're going to get is a box, and it'll probably have a landing pad with some type of digital beacon on it. So when you activate this landing pad for delivery, the drone will actually lock in and calculate dropping heights,
It's going to
etc.
have a barcode on it, dude.
Right. Right.
It's going to be a 2D barcode.
The most
Okay, you'll look at it from the sky with a
for me
camera.
with this is like what the average shopper going into Walmart's pulling in there with a shopping cart. So I'm just curious to know
You're not
the type
that's not
of-
what you're doing here. You got curbside delivery for that. Okay. No, this is
I know
this is
that.
a novelty to
That's
start
not what
off
I'm
with.
even
Okay.
saying. I'm just
This
thinking
is
that
this is
would they be
but
delivering?
think about it. This prescriptions, pharmaceuticals.
That would
Because
be
it's not outside the realm of Zipline, right? Who's one of the
Right.
biggest pharmacists in this country? Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't forget that. That's, so that's probably the best realm. I need aspirins. I need this. I need,
maybe glasses.
okay, no problem. Buy $40 worth of products and you can get that delivered in an hour.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But still it has to fit within that criteria. It's going to
What'd
be
you
a
say,
small
Matt?
payload to start off
A lot
with.
of big box stores do have their own pharmacies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Walmart is one of the biggest. They've been around the longest too. And remember, Walmart is Good Sam also.
Yeah.
So, that's huge. It's huge. We only think of BJ's and Costco's here. Walmart's been around a lot longer than they have.
Hey, Tom,
Your other two competitors are CVS and Walgreens.
if I could avoid going to Walmart on the weekends, I do it any way possible. So the fact that they have a delivery system, like you said, it may be strictly
but then
rural.
again, you're going to 5 towns. You're going over to 5 towns, right, buddy?
Oh, yeah, out in Valley Streams over there.
Yeah.
You just don't go to Wally World on the weekends. I'm sorry. If you do, you're a fool.
No.
Yeah, but Lawrence, you going over there, right? You going over there to pick up just your prescriptions?
No.
Okay, so then that wouldn't work for
No, you're buying 36-pack of hot dogs too while you're there. Okay. Dude, see, this is look,
Always.
it's not for that
36.
stuff. We know it's going to be. It's going to start off as a novelty. It's going to be lightweight stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe some electronics. Maybe
Right.
But I really see the pharmaceutical end because you're now catering. Here's what you can do with this and get some benefit real quick. Deliver pharmaceuticals to seniors. Okay? Because that I see as a big market. There's a lot of planned communities, a lot of retirement villages.
El
Stuff like
Smeghead,
that.
have
We're
a
not
great
talking
day at
nursing
work.
homes.
All right. Thanks for stopping in, man. No, but that's the only place I really see this, actually functioning with that on a long-term basis because, You mentioned electronics. I don't want my electronics delivered like that. Nothing.
No
Yeah,
parachuted
yeah.
down to you? No.
It's like a parachute. No.
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 Because I could just see that box doing, and then whatever's in there might work.
It can only fall, according to the FAA, it can only fall at a certain rate. Okay, so
Now you see the
don't worry, that
parachutes
technology will be
for your
flawless
drone,
also.
right?
Huh? Yeah.
Those parachutes they
Well,
have
I've seen
for drones.
I've seen my drone fall at different rates also. Yeah. While under control
Yeah.
and while not under control.
True.
But
True.
look, it's small payloads.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Right.
That's what it is. You know, and until we have large enough craft that are gonna, we talked about this the other day, Herman. Until we have large enough craft that are doing taxi work for both human and cargo, you're not going to have anything until you have something that's capable of conveying a human.
Yeah.
You're not going to have large package delivery.
No.
That's okay.
But can you
That's all
imagine?
Where's it going to land in front of the house, and I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out and unbox that, unload that thing myself.
Well, you think about this,
Okay.
Tom,
Oh, you gotta
also.
lower the
The
stuff for that.
closest the average person will get to a delivery drone is actually hearing it go over them.
Yeah.
And
Lower
you
the
know,
stuff for that.
yeah, now you may be able to sit there with goggles in some parts of the United States and say, oh, there's a DHL. Oh, there's a so-and-so. That's a Walmart.
Dude,
zip
I'm
line."
still waiting for the conveyor belt to get dressed every morning like George Jetson. Okay.
Well,
We won't see that one.
I don't think I'd mess with a machine like
you
that.
build it yourself in your house.
Think about it this way: if that machine happened to go haywire, you'd get hurt up.
Can you imagine
I'm
that?
just saying.
Only once though.
We do have the conveyor belt, though. Only they work best in airports. What's that, Matt?
One time would it be? Would the person that's actually flying the drone do exactly like the delivery people now say? The person wasn't home and just fly over without.
It won't. Well, think about it this way.
Anybody else?
Think it through. If in order to enroll in the program, you got to sign up, right? You got to register. There's no doubt there'll be a registration. With the registration comes a membership package. Now, if you order, then the next step is to place your landing beacon, aka a big landing pad that has a 2D barcode on it that has all your information embedded, right? You got to place it in front of your house. Now, when the drone flies over, if it sees it, then it makes the delivery. If it doesn't see it,
it's going to
return shipment undeliverable.
Well, I'm pretty sure, Tom,
in
that
your backyard in a secure area too.
Yeah.
No, I think you will physically have to put something out to announce its landing. Otherwise, it's not going to deliver it.
Oh no, I understand that, but I'm saying
it could drop in the
something
neighbor's
like that
backyard.
In a secure area.
Well, then
Which
you
is
go put
usually
it out in the
behind a
backyard
house.
yourself and leave it out there for the day. Or, well, I would say in these planned communities, it's probably going to be in front of the house. There's more room in front of the house in these planned
In
communities
some places,
than there is in their
true.
backyards.
Some
Because the
places
backyard,
that is true.
in the backyard, you can't predict whether they'll have lawn furniture here or there. But in front of the house, you have a street, you have a driveway, you have a walkway. We're talking about I'm talking about planned communities, cookie cutter communities, because that's where you're going to get the most traction on this. We ain't going to see it here.
We have people here that get packages delivered and they line up packages all week because they're not home. And I can just imagine someone.
We know that. There's a whole industry built around that.
When that day comes and people come home and they got tons of drone deliveries in front of their house. One day.
Yeah. Hey, and if you want to take pleasure with what somebody does to deal with those people, the Porch Pirate crew, check out what is it, Glitter Bomb 3.0 on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean that guy, he's an engineer. He built this thing to so they'd have something to take home with them.
I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys real quick the accuracy. This is actually zip line in Rwanda while they were testing out. Now, they have done tests in the UK where the guy had a circular area taped off. But to show you the accuracy of this particular zip line system, it's pretty astonishing. That unfortunately, it's only shot in 200 and something resolution, but this is an actual delivery of blood samples to a hotel. I mean, to a hospital, which looks like an apartment house. It's so small, but this is the actual package dropping down at the front door of the hospital. So that's not bad. I mean, and for the drop system, if you think about it, I'm just saying. I mean, to be
Well,
honest,
well, because look, it's because it's not being flown by a. Let's be clear here. It's not being flown by a pilot.
Mhm.
so it's a lot more
Things like
accurate.
this, your drop distance and all the accuracy of it, dude. We were dropping bombs on Dusseldorf.
That's
Okay,
true.
it's physics. It's physics. Okay, you have a glide slope. You have air density. So there's barometers on board. You have barometers in these things.
Hey, Bill.
So you can plan the drop based on those parameters that are defined.
Well, the guy, when I saw their setup, what they have at that launch, that sling, what Lawrence had showed earlier, the guy puts those coordinates in the computer, and that thing launches it. And when it comes back, it has a catch that catches the drone.
Yeah, well, the systems out there today, right? They can either do the catch, which is a glide slope coming in for the catch, or they can do a parachute drop. It comes around, it starts to orbit, then the engine shuts off, the parachute deploys, and it lands. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to retrieve these autonomous drones. But yeah, look, FPV Joe, they're not going to navigate porches. Again, I think it's going to be a target you place out on your lawn or front walk or driveway or in the street, and it will come and deliver it. But you got to be waiting for it.
Yes.
I mean, otherwise, why did you need the 1 hour delivery? Okay. If you're not waiting for this package,
right?
Why did you use a drone delivery? I mean, so that's where it's going to get its most traction to begin with.
Drone Psych says
It'll
still
be a
sounds
couple
like
of years,
someone.
I think we'll be
Drone
talking about.
Psych says it still sounds like someone can steal my Omaha steaks delivery.
Dude, if you're not waiting for your Omaha steaks, you deserve to lose them. Okay?
Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying.
Dude.
I'm just saying.
Dude,
that
if
white cooler can survive on a stoop in New York City, man. It ain't happening.
Hold on.
Okay? And there'll be some novel use for the dry ice that comes along with it.
Hey, Drone Psych. Okay? There you go. There's the Omaha steak cooler. You know what it holds now? Parts, drone parts.
Well, oh my God. Yes. We ordered Omaha steaks for our Christmas and New Year's meal because we knew we'd be home alone with each other. So got those the private reserve triple butchered filet mignon. Off the hook, man. Off the hook. So
listen, I tried Omaha steaks last year for the first time, Tom. I tried them for the first time last year, and just like a shark, when it bites into a surfer, my eyes rolled up in my head, and I went somewhere.
Oh, you start making orgasmic sounds.
I didn't know where I was.
Yes. Yeah.
It was the filet mignon
for those of you local,
the lobster tails, and
the Queens boys, okay, that are here, and I didn't mean that for the rest of you that aren't from New York. I didn't mean that in a derogatory manner, by the way. Okay. There's an Omaha Steaks. There's an Omaha steak store on Jericho Turnpike, by the way.
Okay.
Diane, did you hear that?
So
hold on, I'll be back.
In case you want instant gratification.
He's happy now. Did you hear
I see. You just got all excited.
Okay.
Yeah, see, my wife was like, get out. Jericho Turnpike is a hop, skip, and a jump from where I live here.
Look up online. It's not, it's not a heavy haul. Okay?
I'm Googling now.
But I think it's Syosset. I think.
Listen. If I can get it quicker than how they got it here,
it's worth the drive.
If I can get it quicker, it's worth the drive. Yeah, hell yeah.
And not only that, when they go to the freezer, they open up the box to show you the marbling and all. Okay, so but be careful when you go in the store. It's a lot easier to spend a lot more money than you plan to.
Oh,
Okay,
you've been there.
Right, because you start saying, well, the
I get all kind
filet
of.
mignon is
Please
good.
go there. It's I get moist there. Okay, please. That's those steaks, but they got a lot of great stuff there, man. Okay, you want a good steak? They're ribeye. They're private reserve ribeye steaks. Oh my god, man!
Lawrence,
You'll need look. You'll need to take a food coma nap afterwards. Okay, I'm just saying.
is that what you're doing, Lawrence? You're ordering steaks now?
he's cooking it up right now.
Yeah. No, my wife is like, you sure it's in, and I'm like, the Jericho Turnpike. It's in Woodbury, New York. She's on the phone right now. She's Googling. She's not calling, but she's actually checking it out because like I said, I tried Omaha steaks last year for the first time, and I was like, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Quality,
This
man.
is
Quality.
what people are talking, and they have the little seasoning
Quality.
packets that come with it, and
Sure.
man, I was
You can get
impressed.
the garlic butter. You can get
Yep.
They have their baked potatoes. They're almost like potato
They're
skins.
stuffed.
They're
They're
all
actually
rotten
stuffed.
potatoes.
They're stuffed baked potatoes we got from them.
They also have They also have a lot of fish dishes.
Diversing
Also,
from
they
drone
have chicken
news.
breast. Yeah, I'll tell you, you got it. But man, what we did was we took those, and they were 2-inch thick filet mignon. I pan seared them up on the stove first for about 3 minutes in a little bit of
Hey,
oil,
Metro.
and then I turned them over in the pan and I threw them in the oven at 300 degrees. Okay. And then after I pulled them out, I wrapped them up in tin foil and put them on the side for about 10 minutes. And oh my God.
Yes, we have to get back to drone news because I'm starting to get the munchies.
Heaven.
I'm getting distracted here.
Munchies or you're hungry?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both.
Two different things.
Well, hey, listen, Herman, we're trying to appeal to all crowds here, okay?
Okay, all right, I got you.
Well, as for this dude, leave me alone.
Munchies, hungry.
You just put leave me
children.
alone. I just put him on timeout.
What happened to him?
He came in and said something
Look at that, drone
derogatory.
psych.
He came in and said something
sensing an
derogatory.
Omaha
And
steakhouse meetup.
Seen it, yeah. Yeah.
so I just put him on a timeout and reported him because we don't need that crap going on here. So now you have to create another, being that I reported you and you're on timeout and you'll probably watch this over. You have to create another account to come in. And we're very much on point. So
In the corner. I definitely seen that, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
hey,
didn't
what's up,
catch it,
Bob
so.
Casey? How are you?
Oh,
Welcome
what's
to
good, man?
Wednesday nights with those guys. There's a reason why there are people on the panel chat and we have moderators for knuckleheads like you. So getting back to the subject.
Which was drones or steaks? I lost track. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
We're going to leave the steaks alone for now. Wifey's already got the address locked down in the phone. We're going to have to work something out here.
Save up those steak reward points, okay?
Hey, Ed, what's good, man? Love my drones. How are you, Ed?
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Ed.
Happy New
Greg
Year.
Wade. Turn to hear some drone chat.
Greg, I'm glad I
come
could
in
provide a
and
service
hear
tonight.
steaks. I get it. We're getting back to the drone topics.
Yep.
Well, Lawrence, this next one was an article in was that Drone Life
Yes.
magazine, I believe that is, on January 4th.
Yes.
And it was 10 rules for new drone owners flying legally in the United States. Now, apparently from the article, they claim they spoke to a representative from the FAA about 10 things, 10 items that new drone flyers or pilots need to be aware of before they fly. And there was a discussion on that, and they came up with these 10 things that are, they came up with these 10 things for, new drone pilots. And most of us know these things already, but
apparently not everyone does.
no,
No, it's just crazy.
I said when it came up, I was gonna go ooh, but I'm actually a little
Well,
more
it's
a
neither
little
here nor
calmer than when I
there.
saw it.
We could post a link to that article if you got it in
Yeah,
the chat.
yeah, damn good. I'll put
Everyone
it
to
there 3 times if you want.
on their own because
If you fly a drone in the United States, these are things that you must know. Now,
yeah.
if you say, "Oh, I knew this already," bullshit. Because if you have to look at the list, you didn't know it.
Well, all
I'm just
flights
saying.
outside are regulated by the FAA. That was the first one. Um, most civil flights are governed by Part 107. Was the second thing that they had on this list. Now, the third was most. Okay, here we go. Yeah, drones must be registered with the FAA and marked irrespective of weight. Now, the drone pilot must have a FAA issued remote pilot certificate, Part 107.
107.12.
Now,
Here's a
drones are
crucial one.
to 400 feet altitude in uncontrolled airspace. Now, some of these, like I said, we know these already, but this list was basically catered to the newer pilots, new guys flying, because they
But
said that a lot of people have gotten drones for Christmas and people have given out drones for Christmas.
you can't read, you can't stop there. You got to keep
No, I'm
reading
not.
so you
I'm
can
not.
get to number 8.
Drones must operate in daylight only, or follow the rules for operating at night.
So half an hour after or half an hour before.
At
Now,
twilight hours.
Except with the new rule, you'll be able, if you're Part 107, you'll be able to
that's
fly at night with training. Right.
But you need the beacon. Yes, you need the beacon on your drone.
you still have
Yeah.
to refer
And you have to be trained.
You still have to refer to the rule.
That's the new rule. Yes.
Yes.
Where am I at here?
Visual
Pilot.
line. VLOS.
What happened?
VLOS. You're up to VLOS.
Yeah. Pilots must operate. Okay.
No, you missed one. Drones must be flown within visual line of sight.
Yes. Drones must be flown within visual line of sight. Now, we all know what that means. Not that we can see the strobe flashing 3 miles down, but we can actually see the drone.
But I can see it on my screen. What do you mean?
And the next one is the most important one that I'd
Looking
like to
at your screen doesn't count with the FAA.
myself.
You have to actually look at the drone.
You must obtain airspace authorization to fly in controlled airspace.
Can you repeat that, please? Because here in New York, there seems to be a deafness upon certain ears. Pilots must obtain an airspace authorization in flying in controlled airspace, which means if you don't use an app like Before You Fly or one of those apps that tell you where you're standing is legal or not.
Oh, yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying? If you get in trouble, you can't say, I didn't know. And I want to point out something also. The FAA has been not only busy here in New York, but in Arizona, where a friend Hadley, Hadley's famous, they are actually running up on drone pilots and asking, are you recreational or 107?
Okay.
Now it's slowly starting to trickle down throughout the rest of the states, but I have heard of certain incidents where people were flying at IKEA Park and the FAA came up and said, bring your drone down now. And that's all I'm going to say.
That wasn't the FAA. That was
that was local.
In the chat, Sunrise Water Media said you need the forthcoming module on the drone to fly at night. No, that's not actually a true statement. If you're talking about remote ID, remote ID and flight at night are not wrapped in the same thing. They happen to be released under the same rulemaking, but the
Well,
flight over the flight at night is governed by training. So go ahead. Herman.
right
Right.
now, Ray,
Flight
and
over people
hold
and
on a second, Herman. I want to
Right.
finish this off because what happened at IKEA Park was there were certain drone pilots flying there, and it was during Fleet Week or whatever the event was going on that week.
oh, you can't fly
But
ships.
a police officer, detective, and someone from the FAA asked this gentleman to land his drone and asked, were you flying over a certain neighborhood at a certain time? Now, I happen to know the individual, and at that time, he was flying in a certain neighborhood in a certain time. So the fact that the FAA and local police are teaming up to catch these people along the East River, hint, hint, and
Yeah,
and
Lawrence,
and,
the reason
and
why that
south
happened
and
was because
south towards the Verrazano Bridge means there will be there probably be random pop-ups this year. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear sometime this year that more pilots are being approached here in New York. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
there was an incident that happened that morning with the
Yes,
police.
it
They were
was in
looking
the
for
morning.
somebody and they seen the drone. So
Yes,
basically, that was the reason why they walked up to those
but they
individuals.
tracked the drone back to where these guys were flying, and the guy had already packed the drone away.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
my
I
point.
heard about the situation.
The fact that they were approached means you're pretty soon you will have no excuse. Now, as far as what Tom was saying, we'll get back on these other two topics. As far as remote ID, stop crying and wipe your eyes. It's not going to be available for about a year and a half to 2 years
Maybe 4 years.
before they even ready. We did the same thing with Lance. Oh, they're going to tell us what altitude to fly. Well, Lance has been telling you what altitude to fly for how long now?
Mhm.
Well, look, it's you need authorization to fly in controlled
That's what I was
airspace,
pushing.
and Love My Drone said, tough in New York, everything is controlled airspace. Remember something, people, that airspace is controlled at certain altitudes. Just because you're standing in this Latin long and you ask me above you, doesn't necessarily mean you're flying in controlled airspace,
Correct.
because the shelf of that Class B might not start till 700 feet.
Exactly.
So underneath that 700 feet,
You're clear.
you're in Class G.
Right.
You're clear to fly. What Lawrence was referencing, and what Matt was chiming in on also, was the fact that you need to understand that there's other things beside controlled airspace. There's also something called flight restrictions,
Exactly.
NOTAMs, notice to airmen, okay, that prevent you or should prohibit you from flying at certain times in certain areas during certain events.
Okay,
And you have
Herman.
to be aware of that. Ignorance is no
I'm
defense.
sorry.
So,
I just
Herman,
had to
pick up
put that little
over, flight over.
I just had to
Oh,
put that little
flight,
part in. You got the
flight
last
over
two.
people and operations at night still require appropriate waivers. Still require those appropriate waivers. Now, this one here is the biggie. Give way to manned aircraft at all times.
Yeah.
At all times. And do not interfere with other aircraft or emergency responders.
In capital letters, emergency responders. It looks cool to get your drone up in the air and get a shot of a fire or a scene going on. But because that drone is up in the air, they can't perform their actions. That may be where they may need
They
to
might
launch
have
a
their
drone
drone
in the
in the
air to
air
look
doing
for
the
hot
same thing.
spots.
You know? Maybe they'll have their drone in the air, really on what they're doing, at the same time.
Why can't I catch my shot? I'm over here. I'm across the street. That's
Right.
Unacceptable.
because they
Stop it.
don't know where you are. They
Right.
don't know your
True.
level of training. They
Know what
don't know if
to
you
do.
just unboxed it and turned it on for the first time. So why
Now,
put others at risk?
Yeah.
So,
right. Now, this is
these
where
10
remote.
rules,
Go
these
ahead.
10
This.
rules, Herman,
Yes.
it's the part I'm missing here is, if I can't make a call on my iPhone until I register my iPhone, through my phone. If I can't use an app until I enable it on my phone and
allow it
register
to
it,
look through your phone book and
why
everything else.
can't I restrict your ability to fly that drone until you take a quick, a little online, we'll say training,
Mhm.
and take a quick 10-question exam. Okay, remember DJI was doing that for a while, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
now,
Before you can
go
enter
ahead,
the app.
fly. But now you can't claim ignorance. Now
right,
you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know I couldn't fly at 1,700 feet
exactly.
in Class B airspace on the flight path to LaGuardia, runway 21." I mean,
Right.
so that's a step that should be taken by the manufacturers. I
I
can't
agree
run
with that
my DJI Fly
1000%.
app until I take this exam.
I agree with
Okay,
that, Tom. If you buy a drone,
then you stop the ignorance. Then you
if
stop the ignorance
it's the
excuse.
same thing when you want your driver's license. In order to drive that car, you have to pass a test. And then you have to take classes and sit and watch videos. I don't think you have to go to that extreme with drones, but if the drone companies, and I stress drone companies, were to take more responsibility and say, hey, if I have to make you register this phone to use it and get the apps that you want, like Tom said, you should be able to do the same thing with something that can fly
And you
3.5
have to
miles away
register the drone during that session.
before it takes off
Wait,
the
I just
ground.
took out how much money out of my pocket to buy that drone? I'm going to quit now over a $5 charge to buy my registration.
Sounds
Right,
correct.
You know what?
right.
Or
It's
you know what?
unacceptable
Charge them $5 already for the
when you buy it.
registration. So every drone coming into the US has a $5 charge associated with it. And then there's a redemption card in it that, okay, when I go to register my drone, I can use this redemption card. There's my $5 I just paid. But you're forced to do it, kind of thing, And okay, I'm sorry. I guess I just violated somebody's
Asgard
rights by
does have
doing that.
a valid point. It's not the job of a business to enforce laws. This is true, but as a business, if you
It
own
is.
if you hold on, Tom, if you're a car manufacturer,
Go ahead.
okay, if you're a car manufacturer, it is your business to put sensors in front of your car to avoid you hitting people. It
Well, those are
is your
laws that are
business.
created
So a seatbelt.
It is your
that
business to put a
enforces that, right?
seatbelt in exactly. So why not do it with
Federal
drones?
motor vehicle safety standards.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Federal motor vehicle safety standards.
Right.
Nothing. The FAA is responsible for airspace safety, right?
In fact,
But
You can't just make a
it's
plan.
not the job of a business to enforce laws, but it's better be the job of the business to limit their liability.
it's the
And you
same thing
limit
with
your
pharmaceutical
liability
companies.
by
They
being
tell you,
proactive.
but hold on, Tom.
By
It's the
being
same thing with
proactive.
pharmaceutical companies. They tell you if you take this pill to make your stomach stop hurting, your eyeball's going to pop out.
There's 17 different.
Yeah,
Okay, it's the same thing.
realize that's in 4-point type at the bottom.
Small
Okay,
print.
anal
Yeah,
leakage.
but they do have
I
it
don't
printed
know.
though.
Anal.
200 words a
I'm
second.
kind of thinking I want the symptoms of the disease instead of the anal leakage. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You rather have the
You know what it is? It's really it's liability at the corporate level. It's it's enforcement of you need to know how to use this appropriately, okay, and responsibly.
It's a
Because the
self-aware
bad
world.
press we suffer in this realm is because of no accountability
FPV Joel
and
says,
no
if I burn
responsibility
myself with
being
the
shown.
lighter, do I blame the lighter company? Yes.
Are
If
you
it says,
telling me? Are
yes,
you telling me, FPV Droll,
yes, if it
that
says you
lawyers
turn a
haven't
notch past here,
litigated
you will
on that?
lose your eyeball. Yes, it is their job.
Yeah.
Their
Look,
job.
FPV Droll. We put on the side of cigarette packs that this will kill you.
Yes.
But still lawyers successfully sued the tobacco companies
Yep.
for killing people.
When someone gets
Okay?
cancer or
So
dies. Yeah. I mean, it's a catch-22, but if you think about us being we're supposed to be the self-aware society. And if you can put on a pill bottle that this will make your left ear fall off, or smoking this will make your lungs explode, or if you use this, why can't other companies? And it should be a standard because you can't go to their country and do that.
Well, Lawrence, the only reason why they put those on there is because now that they're asking you to go into your doctor's office and ask him for specific medication,
Mhm.
that's why they have to make you aware of the side
Yeah,
effects.
and I
Your
think that
doctor
should be
knew those
regulated.
already. Your
Right.
doctor
Yeah.
knew those already.
Well, I think they should be regulated because I'm sorry, I can't fast forward through. You know, it's got me screwed up. Okay, pharmaceutical commercials don't fit within the rules. These commercials are going 2-3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I'm going to say the term again: anal leakage. Why is that allowed to be talked about during dinner time?
Exactly.
Okay? Just saying.
Okay.
Because you have a
But these
headache.
commercials are like 3-4 minutes long, and now these people are walking into doctors' offices going, "Oh, I want this medication,
Like Herman
and then I
said,
need this to
they're
counteract the side
brainwashing you into
effects."
believing that
Okay.
this medicine will work for you, but the side effects involve you losing a kidney, lung, or part of your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now here's a stupid thing. If you want to take something for your stomach, why does the side effect give me migraines? If you want to take something for your brain, why do you get the shits?
It's called life,
I'm just
bro.
saying.
There's always a trade-off. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree, and
Okay.
I
High
understand
shutter
that.
speed, big aperture. Remember what happens. It's all trade-offs, bro.
I'm being facetious, but you guys get what I'm saying.
I'll keep the headache.
Herman,
Yeah.
we went from drones to bodily function. Get us back, baby.
Well,
Get us back.
Okay, next story.
Yes, back.
Next story.
Nothing beats the shits.
All right. So much for monetization later on this video.
Acquired drone manufacturer Altavian. Now,
Oh, FLIR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Altavian
Yeah, this is a big one, guys.
is based in Gainesville, Florida.
Blue UAS.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're one of the gold ribbon blue UAS manufacturers.
Yeah, and they were.
So FLIR knew what they were
Now,
doing.
Flint acquired this company, and they happen to be a small unmanned aircraft or aerial
Give me a
systems
second. I'll be right back, guys.
Thank you.
for defense and public safety. Now, you know, this move is to provide comprehensive missions and coverage within that Group 1 unmanned system that they have for their defense customers. So FLIR, this is a big move with FLIR because, like we said before, this company was entered onto that blue UAS list, and you know, for government contracts and development. So, and we already know what FLIR is. You know, FLIR is like the big dog in you know.
Well, FLIR's a lot bigger than you realize. I mean, FLIR is a company I've worked with for many years. A very reputable company. Not a cheap company to work with. That's for dang sure. And realize that FLIR already has. They already have aerial product. They already have unmanned aerial systems because FLIR has the Sky Raider and they have the Black Hornet. The Black Hornet's been in use for a while now. It's a battleground drone. It's for battleground situational awareness. Now, what's good about this is FLIR now adds to their repertoire Altavian's fleet, which is the Ion and the Nova.
Yes.
And those things already operate on the Army's SUAS DDL waveform of 1 through 7. So, guys, if we think we got it made with our OcuSync 2, you're not even close. Okay. So what FLIR has actually done here is, you know, what any decent company looking to ensure more successful attempts at winning military contracts is buy the competitor on the market who's already certified blue UAS. And that's what Altabarian brings to the carpet. Okay. So they're not going to really change the business model of that company. They'll absorb it to some degree, but they're going to now be able to release all of their drones under a blue UAS at some point. Yeah. So,
everything will be
and what FLIR does is FLIR is renowned, of course, for thermal imaging, right? But
Mhm.
FLIR is more than thermal imaging. We use ground robots from FLIR, pack bots. Okay.
right.
A lot of the bomb squad units across the country use FLIR products.
Mm-hmm.
FLIR makes a lot of those
Yes.
ground robots. So this is not a new realm for them. This is just a very strategic business move on their part. So what they'll, basically what they'll do is they'll incorporate their technology into Altavariant's technology and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a win-win for both companies.
Yeah.
And I didn't check their stock today, so no doubt it probably went up
I
a
would
bit.
think
Black stock?
FLIR is one of the stocks that will constantly be going
Yeah,
up
FLIR is
as
traded.
technology changes. If you were looking to make an investment, do not listen to me, but they are one of the companies out there that are constantly going up on a chart while everyone else is going down or leveling off because of their technology.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now they have a FLIR system, or they're working on a FLIR system, or I don't know if it exists, but I saw pictures for the Mavic 2 series. Now, whether that was a special enterprise
Well, it's not.
edition,
No, well, it looks similar. Frame size.
Well, this story here I thought was big because, like Tom mentioned, this company was mentioned to that blue UAS list.
here you
And
go.
any
Here's actually what I
sky's the
saw.
limit for them, and to hell with everyone else.
This is actually the photo I saw, where there's a FLIR camera on top here, and then you have your actual FPV camera.
Yeah,
Of
that's a
course, on a
retrofit
motorized,
to a Mavic drone.
right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
the fact
kit.
that you
That's
can
a
actually take a FLIR system and attach it to 9 out of 10 drones out there is a big plus, because even guys playing around with
Their
FLIR
camera for the
systems
Enterprise.
have helped find and rescue people in the woods. Okay. You sent up there was a guy who found a little girl who had drifted away from their camp, and at the campsite, one of the guys did have a drone with a FLIR camera on it, and they were actually able to rescue this girl before dark because it dropped to freezing. And it's things like that. I mean, I don't know anyone personally that has a FLIR system, but the fact that he had one at the campsite and they were able to use it to help find this little girl is a plus. So it's FLIR stock is definitely pointed in the right direction.
Well, it just got better right now because this was a good move for them.
Yeah, well, listen, any business that can help people, whether it be for hopefully for good, but any business or company that can help individuals or make their life easier, I'm for. I'm not for the stuff that you pop a pill and lose a kidney, but they claim that helps people too.
Pop a pill and lose a kidney.
Yeah, well, we won't go into
Where do
that.
I sign up for that? What did I miss?
Nothing, Tom.
Don't
Oh,
take
okay, good. Thank you. Where's Paul when you need him? Where's Paul? I don't see Paul. in the
Sorry you
chat.
didn't get a chance to fly, Lost Girl, but I haven't flown in a month. I'm fiending to fly,
Oh.
to be honest.
Jonesing to fly.
Well, that was the news that I had for the day, but hope guys
Okay.
enjoyed it. That
So
was
can we kind of semi go squirrel? No, I'm playing.
well, I mean,
Semi. We've gone squirrels so much today we forgot where we lost our nuts. Okay.
is that where the tree is going to grow? No, but I mean, we didn't actually go squirrel. I mean, we talk in a discussion. Bunch
Where's
of
my
guys
DJI FPV drone? When's it coming, Herman?
Coming
Soon.
Coming soon to a theater near you. Shit, can't even go to the theater these days. Damn it.
Oh, you can go. It ain't over. You can't get in.
This is true. And if you can get in, a crowd of 5 or more is overcrowding. But
I'm kind of liking this
what happened?
streaming stuff, man.
Kind of like a what?
I kind of like this streaming entertainment stuff. I just want to get out when I want to get out. That's all.
Yeah.
Entertainment now.
Well,
Well,
I'm
I
hoping.
mean, did anybody see Wonder Woman, the new one? Is
I
it?
heard it wasn't too.
I saw. I don't know. Is Anthony
Charles was
in the
disgusted
chat
by it.
tonight?
He was disgusted.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was going to just ask. I mean,
About Wonder Woman. Wait a second.
But you don't like Anthony Charles, I mean, it ain't good.
Movie was awesome.
look.
Did you see it, Matt?
Yeah, I've seen it twice.
You saw it, Matt?
A lot of people didn't like it. I didn't see it.
Twice. It was better than the
Matt.
first one.
White people didn't like Black Panther until they watched it a few times. You know?
Hey, Matt, let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a serious question. Did you like the storyline, or you were just paying attention to her the whole time?
I mean, I like what's her name. I can't even say her name right, Gal Gadot.
But answer me this. Okay, so answer me this. Here's the one thing I've got a problem with, and I haven't seen the movie yet, but this is a problem I have. Okay, why is she of that whole
Hold on, you're freezing up.
She's the only one with an even the kid that played her, okay, as a child, okay, didn't have an Israeli accent, so okay.
That's just casting. That's
the rest of the movie, she's got an Israeli accent. Okay. Hey, get a dialogue coach, okay?
It's so funny because she didn't have an accent in Fast and Furious, but now all of a sudden she has an accent. Yeah, because she was in that movie.
They paid attention to that.
Hey, what's up, John Donato?
Yeah, it didn't fit the role. Yeah. Look. Here's the last thing I'll say about it. DC.
Ain't no Marvel.
Comics can't make movies. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, Marvel. You want a comic?
Batman.
You want a made? You go to Marvel.
Right. Good comic books. DC make good comic book, but not movies.
Okay. Batman's hit and miss, Herman. Let's be honest with each other.
Yeah, but it's really the only one that they did hit.
True.
We can go through the various Batman and go.
You got 8 different Batmans. Yeah, there's different.
And how many times, Superman's not supposed to. You're not supposed to be able to kill Superman. Okay. Come on now.
Yeah. But you see,
place it here.
Superman got killed. Same thing like the Hulk got his butt whooped in Avengers. Like, so now the big boys are getting their butt whooped now.
But see, you know what the problem is? If you're going to take a story, from the past, and I understand you have to make it appealable to modern day public, but if you're going to take a story, don't tell me Supergirl or they just screw up the stories. The stuff that we used to read when we were younger, in comparison to the stories that they're telling now, some of them are crap. You gotta be honest.
Well, yeah. Look. They pump stuff out. Okay, it's about making money. Lost Girl Hikes, right? Yeah, absolutely, man. You grow up with some of these things also, and you picture them a certain way, and then the movie comes out, and they trash, a lot of what they did before. My problem is continuity in movies. That's what drives me crazy. I had gone to see one of the Lord of the Ring movies, and with a buddy, and the funniest thing was you talk about this guy is like just incredibly brilliant and what a mind, but a real down to earth guy. And we're watching, and during the movie, he just blurts out, "Why Aragorn's not a fainter? Even on page 283 of the second book, he didn't faint." And I looked at him and I said, Dude, you can't watch the rest of these movies. You really can't. You're ruining it for the rest of us, okay?
Ruining it, yeah.
Well,
but if you're a purist, these movies can really tick you off.
Right, because you have to look at it from their point. They took that away from them.
Yeah,
you understand, by doing that with the stories. They did the same thing with the books for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, my problem was I don't know if you guys knew the story of Mrs. Marvel. Okay, but Mrs. Marvel did not get her powers the way she did. They showed in the movies, like going to space and gamma space rays or whatever the hell. Mrs. Marvel actually got her powers, who was actually Jean Grey, wind up becoming Mrs. Marvel because she touched Mr. Captain Marvel or Mr. Marvel. and
Yeah.
she could not let go. So she absorbed
This is Marvel.
powers and
I thought he was
killed
talking
him.
about the stand-up comedian.
You're
Oh, that's
right, I
a
give up.
wonderful.
seeing the wrong person.
Okay.
Captain
It's
Marvel.
okay.
Captain
Hey,
Marvel.
hey, dude,
Yes,
dude, you
Cap.
feeling better? I gotta bust on you tonight, man. Okay. You know, look,
You know, that's just like the Hulk.
He put himself on.
A lot of people didn't like the first movie, right? But the first movie showed a lot of the characteristics of the Hulk. I mean,
Movie was trash.
they may have destroyed everything about how it actually happened.
That was the trashiest Hulk movie ever.
Hold on a second. But there's people who loved Lou Ferrigno's Hulk. Was it really good, or was it the first? Why you
dude,
embraced it?
no.
That was trash.
Look.
You sure it
How
was-
many
it was
how
okay.
many networks did we have?
Oh, it was the first, and that's why you embrace it.
Wait. When Lou Ferrigno came out with the Hulk, what were your entertainment selections back then? You had
But this is my
CBS,
point.
NBC, ABC.
That's
In New
it.
York, we had
Not a whole lot.
WOR and Pix. Okay, so you didn't have a lot to choose from. We relished anything they put on TV. How cheesy looking back at Star Trek. Okay, just look back at the originals. How cheesy, but man, you know,
It was
I
entertaining.
just uncovered
but
this.
Star Trek
Going through some
holds
stuff.
up for me, bro.
Yeah, you got to admit it was entertainment for its
Oh
time.
no! I'm not saying it doesn't hold up.
But
I'm just saying, look at it now.
6 foot Lou Ferrigno that can't grow any bigger. He got so big he bust out of his clothes, but the pants waist is still.
It's still with his belt on.
I mean, that's just the whole period. But
There's always the question I asked was,
he can't ever.
where does the Hulk buy his jeans? Okay, because man, no matter what happened, he never lost his pants.
They would
But
be.
the thing is, the Hulk gets bigger and bigger the angrier he gets.
Angry he gets, yes.
They were yoga pants,
Those
right?
pants.
They got to be yoga pants. Yeah.
That
but
company.
the pants and the
Oh, those
belt
were
held
Spanx.
up.
I know he gets
Those
them
were
from.
Spanx.
I know he gets it from. No, back in the day, Sears, the action slacks.
Those are pants.
Tabletops.
Action slacks.
Those are maternity pants,
So
dude.
he can bend
Okay, that's
over
what those
with
are.
them.
They're not pants, they're spandex.
But if you want a good goof on that, remember was it Kevin James show, King of Queens?
Mhm.
Lou Ferrigno moved into the house next
door.
Yeah.
right next door, right?
Big
And
time.
they used to go. Kevin James would goof on the fact that he was the Hulk. So,
Yeah. I've seen a few episodes with that.
Yeah.
I must admit.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. But DC can't make comic book movies.
'Cause those guys are not comic book readers. That's why.
Sorry, not consistently. Yeah.
Well,
it's all a matter of who you get to tell your story, and there's just some people should not tell certain stories. That's all.
well,
That's how I look at it.
Lawrence, no, seriously, truthfully speaking, if you came out with something today, right?
Yeah.
Hollywood will say to you, "I love what you have here. I'd like to take this and run with it, put it on, make a big deal."
Yeah,
But
just
I
want to make
have
a
to
couple of changes.
because I don't know better or know how not to. I gotta touch it. I gotta change it a little bit before we can put it on.
Dude,
I love it, but we gotta change it.
Well, how do you think you justify all those producers? Okay,
True.
everybody's got to get their hand at it. So
Yeah.
that's
It's
why
as if-
you got a few out there that won't let anybody touch their stuff.
Did you ever watch that movie? What was it? What was that? Ford versus Ferrari. That about the story that
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
They hired this man to put together this car and this team, and Ford
Shelby.
just didn't know how not to mess with it.
Yeah.
They just
Carroll
couldn't
Shelby,
get their
right?
hands off it. Yeah, they just didn't know how not to mess with it
You know what?
Right.
because I can.
Well, it was a huge falling out with Carl Shelby and Ford for the longest time because of that and all that stuff.
Making
So
the Mustang and all that shit. Stop using that name because them guys was feuding. But
yeah,
what? He still had.
I mean, he built. He
Still had that touch. He knew what
he
was doing.
sought after, man.
He was a power freak, man. He had the engineer.
Well, you know what's cool is Carroll Shelby's factory is along Interstate 15, right in Las Vegas, right along the strip there. If you ever get out there and you're into muscle cars and all, and especially what Carroll Shelby's was able to do, it's definitely worth the stop there. There's a nice museum there and all.
I've been there twice.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Spider, yo, he got some joints out there. Joints. The original Colt, the original Mustang, the first one.
Cobra.
He still got that baby looking pretty. Like a 5 million.
I do like the fact that they tried to bring back certain muscle cars. I just don't like the fact that the rear view window is just tiny. That's all. You look out the rear view window, you see the sky. You don't see the car.
Every young Joker got us charging now. Wait
a second. Wait. That's not just today. I remember, look, my father had a Ford Falcon, a 2-door station wagon that he used to get asked all the time by every gas station attendant. I didn't know they made a 2-door station wagon, right? And then he was feeling cool in the late 60s. No, early 70s. He got a Grand Torino. A Grand Torino, okay? Now, my father was as straight-laced as they come, okay? Had a Grand Torino. I just didn't see it. You couldn't see out that back window in the Grand Torino. That was the Starsky and Hutch mobile, right?
Yeah.
Okay? You can see out that window.
Think about
when you were sitting in the driver's seat, you saw sky. You saw sky. Because you know why? You didn't need to see behind you. Nobody could catch you. That was the premise of their advertising back then, okay? But yeah, look, there are cars today. If you talk about muscle cars, and it was something I was watching. Was it on the? I'm trying to think of the show, but if you look at the cars we have today, they kind of beat the pants out of a lot of muscle cars. I mean, we're talking about muscle cars from the '60s and the early '70s, because remember, right after the gas crunch, no more muscle cars. But you were talking about 0 to 60. You were thrilled if you could do a 0 to 60 in 6.2 and 5.6.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Subarus that do 0 to 60 in under 5.6.
Now you have a Tesla, and most e-cars can go from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
It's so funny because I'm the youngest guy on the panel, but that Ford Falcon car is horrible. I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. Like, oh my God.
Oh, did you look it up? Ford Falcon station wagon, man.
Oh my God.
Man, he bought that after the Studebaker, dude. Okay? Now, as kids, we would sit in the back and well, I remember my father would always take inventory. It was me and my 2 brothers. He'd take inventory by hitting the brakes and listening for the thumps.
I remember that car.
No, you got to find the station wagon.
Station wagon.
You got to find the station.
Hold on.
See if you can find the station wagon, dude.
Ford Falcon station wagon.
Okay. And that Ford Falcon station wagon probably weighs more, okay?
I got it.
Than a Lincoln today.
Probably does.
Yeah, with the metal on it. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I mean, you're talking about that was steel, baby.
There you go.
That was steel.
And that was all metal.
Ours was. Oh, but wait a second. No, that's a 4-door. We had a 2-door.
2-door. You said 2-door.
We had a 2-door.
Yeah. Let's go back.
2-door. And we had. We would sit as kids. We would sit in the back, staring out the back window at people. But you know what? During the summertime, your parents would roll down that back window. Well, what they didn't know was, why were we so quiet in the back? Because we were all napping? No, we actually had carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you opened up the back window in that car,
just a little bit,
you would suck in the fumes.
Just a little bit.
Here's one. Here you go.
Yeah.
I found one.
A lot of those old cars back then did that. Just a little bit, just enough.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. Well, I remember.
Now, you know what? If you had one of those right now, you could hook that right up, bud.
That's a real
Oh
bumper.
man, that would sell for a fortune. Oh, that would sell for a fortune. And my father's idea of seatbelts was his right
They go to
arm.
seat harnesses.
Okay,
Oh my God.
his right
I
arm
beam on the
was the
floor.
seatbelt.
The uniseat.
And here's the back where you could lay down and nap.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Where the
lay
exhaust
down
comes up.
and suffer from carbon monoxide poisoning. That's what it was. Okay. They wondered why us kids always had
Why you
headaches
always
after
sleep
a long
all the
drive,
time?
right?
They're wondering
we
why
were
you would
sleeping.
sleep all
We
the
were
time.
quiet during the trip, but we all had headaches afterwards. You know? What's up, Sean? How are you? But yeah, the
That's
parents'
funny.
idea of a seatbelt was my father's right arm would stick out to stop us, okay, from launching through the windshield, okay. And like I said, the three boys, my mother would say, "Sonny, we sure all the kids are in the car?" And he'd hit the brake, and he had thump, thump, thump. Yeah, the kids are here.
Before
Yeah.
seatbelts were
Yeah, but you
required.
look at cars today, right? You look at
So
cars
Sean
today,
says you could
and
fit
like I
3
said,
average UK cars in the back of that wagon.
oh yeah, yeah. And this was a small wagon.
Mm.
You know, this my father bought after a Studebaker. My father had all the best choices in cars. Let me tell you. Okay.
Isn't that the joint from Happy Days that the father owned?
The Studebaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's how freaking old I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I said
I was
Happy.
born in the 50s, baby. Okay. Happy days.
Yeah, we all know
I
the
was born
joint.
in the 50s. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all right. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with whatever time
No, but
period
you see how far you look at a Tesla today. If you've ever been in a Tesla and you can hit that accelerator pedal, there is no delay.
Right. The
Okay.
average
There
e-car,
is no delay.
including the Tesla, goes from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. So now your police
Yeah.
cars are going to have to become hybrids and electric because you can't catch a
Oh
Tesla.
no, they're already. Yeah, no. The latest fleet build is electric. By the way, Ford has released a police what they call interceptor package. It's the
Okay.
interceptor package, in an electric version as well. So yeah, no problem with the electric motors.
You know,
Plus, the other thing with the electric cars is the center of gravity is so much lower, so these cars really stick to the ground.
Yeah, because the battery's underneath it. That's why it's so heavy.
Yeah, the batteries are the entire floorboard, basically, you know. So you got that center of gravity, which is just inches off the ground. So that really gives you cornering ability.
Oh yeah.
Now I want to see, you
I
know, as
see
they
what-
come
I
out
see what
with
you-
the
I see what you're saying,
SUV
Tom.
versions.
They have
Yeah.
an entire fleet, Ford, offering
was it that
police
announced that they
agencies.
were gonna
All
be
of these are
doing that
e-cars.
SUVs?
Right?
Yeah, those are. Yeah,
All of
they're
these are
all
e-cars.
Yeah.
And they have the options that they have for them are phenomenal, because I was asking myself this: how the hell are they going to catch these e-cars now? Even the cheaper ones, the acceleration is beyond instantaneous. If you make a mistake and catch a cramp, you'll slam into the back of something if your sensors aren't working.
Well, you know, the
Your
bigger.
obstacle avoidance sensors.
Yeah. Well, again, those are getting. Here's the problem with autonomous vehicles.
Here you go.
Non-autonomous
Here you go.
vehicles.
Here's the link. Welsh
Okay.
Rob says for
That-
the Tesla goes 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
that
yeah.
link for those Ford e-cars that a lot of
Those cars, that's what accidents happen. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny. You go pick yourself up a Porsche Carrera, okay, and then you wrap it around the pole a block away from the dealer because you don't
that used to
realize.
happen. How many times have you seen that happen?
Well, that happens all the time when you buy.
Pull a Lamborghini. They're used to driving a car with 4 or 5 gears, and then they get a Lamborghini with 7 gears.
Well, not only
and they pull
that,
out
you
the
have the
driveway to
Lamborghini
showroom
in the
floor
wrong mode
and a block away crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took the NASCAR course. I took the NASCAR course out in Las Vegas Speedway, a 5-day course, back during my midlife crisis. And so I actually want to get out to the salt flats because
How
I
much
really
was
want to
that,
be in a
Tom?
vehicle that's doing 200 miles an hour. I want that 200 mile an hour package.
Tom, how much was that?
I did travel that altogether that was about $5,300.
Okay,
Um,
but it's a full week
I didn't
course.
get any sponsorship though, so it didn't pay. Oh, it was we had a couple of people drop after the first morning because we weren't even in a car.
Mm.
It was complete classroom for a day and a half before
Yeah.
we got in a modified Taurus in a passenger seat, and then they try to get you to look at the wall as a professional driver. Took you around to get you sick. Okay. And by the last day, I was drafting off about 6 inches off the car in front of me at the speed of about 147 miles an hour.
Okay,
Okay. My fastest straightaway speed was 181.
okay.
And my fastest cornering speed was 129. It didn't help me on my car insurance though.
I
They
had
didn't give me
Yeah, I
any
could
discount on my
imagine.
car insurance.
I had a what do you call it, an 88 model of the Volkswagen GTI.
Yeah.
And what I did was I had gotten a 97 VR6 motor and dropped in it and worked it. That car was so damn light. Once you get up to about $150, it felt like the car was starting to take off from the ground.
Oh yeah, no, she'll come out from under you.
Yeah, and you'll be
You know?
flying back.
And I had
Yeah.
front splitters, rear spoiler, everything. $150, $160, she got real light.
Yeah, you do put a couple of center blocks in the back. Calm down, baby. And I'm
You know what's funny? It's funny you say that.
I needed people
Ray,
in that thing to
Ray, it's funny you say that. You remember the IROC Z series?
yeah,
Well,
I
I knew someone who had
I could turn my
a Z28, and he traded it for an IROC, and he was saying that it's light in the ass. I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, go look in the trunk. So I go look in the trunk. He had 250-pound bags of cement on each side of it. And he said, if I didn't have these in here, every time I stepped on the gas, it would just like this, start moving like
that
this.
car was horrible for turning. It was
it's funny when you talk about cinder blocks. I had what we call a station car, right? I worked up in the South Bronx on midnights when I first went on the job with EMS as a medic, and so I had a Plymouth Duster slant 6 225. You could run that thing without oil. She'd
One of
keep
those.
running. Okay, that's a great car, man. I love that car. But I had my buddy, my local street mechanic, doing ball joints for me, and then one day on the BQE, during the heyday of those smooth BQE roads, I broke a torsion bar. Well, that didn't stop me from using that car. I used that car for another 8 months driving to the South Bronx with 4 cinder blocks on the driver's side, duct taped into the back trunk. Okay, just to equalize the car because you couldn't do anything with the torsion bar.
That's back then. You didn't have a posi rear,
It was the
right?
torsion bar bracket.
Right.
There was no posi rear in that car,
weld
was it?
Couldn't even get it welded.
I lost my front splitter on the BQE.
Oh, what?
I lost my front splitter on the BQE.
Hey, so Sean, you said you had the Tesla pickup on order, and they actually are going to have a smaller output as far as horsepower in for the European model, for the UK model. That's what I saw that you posted something on there about that. But yeah, Sean, you're going to have to start a channel just to give us regular updates on that truck. I'm actually looking. I'm looking at
those of you who have
pickup
not
truck.
seen the Cybertruck, impressive. I'm not into trucks personally, but first look at it, and your chin drops to the ground. The size of the tires, the build, the design of it, it just looks like it can do something it's not supposed to. You almost expect it to transform. Seriously. you know. But there are a lot of vehicles out there I wouldn't personally drive because of my size. But there, see, like big, like Matt, you
It's a lot
can't
of
see Matt. You can't see Matt. You cannot see Matt getting out of a S-class Tesla.
Well,
I'm
hold on a
sorry.
second. Hold on,
Oh no.
hold on,
Oh no,
hold
sorry.
on,
That's a
hold on.
very
Now
Matt
you
was
see,
too
now you
fine.
see,
Yeah.
this is where I don't understand this, because we know Matt, right? Right. We know Matt's a tall individual, but if Matt was in the NBA, we would even question his Porsche.
True.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? If Matt was in the
That's
NBA, we
true.
wouldn't even question his Porsche.
I
So
would.
tell me why he had to have such vehicles because of his height.
I'm just
Somebody would make ones specifically for me. That's what it would be.
Dude. But then Lawrence, with that logic, tell me about all the 4'11" housewives driving GMC Suburbans.
Right.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
step
With this
Yeah.
driving
with
like
the
this.
booster pedals. Yeah.
Booster seat. Yeah.
Plus, he got the seat all the way up. You raise it up.
Well, I love
the
those. You know, if one thing I get a kick out of is how some people, while you're driving on highways, seem like they have a very intimate relationship with their steering
Oh, like this?
wheel. I mean,
The
can you
steering wheel's
get
this
any
close on them?
closer? And then
They see the guys in
if you
NASCAR.
look, they're white knuckled. I mean, can you grab that steering wheel any tighter?
That's what you call people driving on with the lines, straight to the lines. Yeah.
Looking under the steering wheel, right?
Yeah, Sean, you should do a Tesla channel.
God forbid
You're
you
right.
get
They do very well.
right away. Right away.
Yeah, I think most of those people are suffering from what they call Napoleon syndrome.
Well, all I have to say is if you ever get into a collision and you're that close to your steering column,
Goodbye.
there's a syndrome that you're going to suffer from. It's called a flail chest, because when that airbag kicks in, okay, it's going to rocket you back into that seat, and it's going to break every rib attached to your sternum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean
So,
says, I love car
I'm
talk.
just saying.
Give those guys car hour, please.
They actually had a problem with the first.
You got to figure where to shoehorn that one into.
Where they used to punch out and then open. And a lot of people got really hurt.
What was that?
On the Ultimas, the first edition with the airbags, they had to change them because what happened was they used to punch out and then open. And a lot of people had suffered some
black eyes and bruises on their
Well,
black eyes, damage.
Wow.
You talk about black eyes and bruises. We've actually lost firefighters. Okay, to airbags. Okay, think about it. You have a collision where an airbag hasn't gone off yet, and you're in there and you're trying to extricate the victim, and you're turned with the victim, and all of a sudden that airbag lets loose. You know, there have been firefighters killed across this country with airbags, to where now the NFPA, the National Fire Protection Association, and departments like my own and many others have come up with procedures, steps to take before extricating a victim from a car. And now airbags are in everything. You got side curtain airbags. So the automotive industry has built in certain safety standards for us to work with also, where we can disengage those airbags. And also, the first thing we came out with was a Kevlar bag to put over the steering wheel.
Okay.
And cinch it down. So if you are doing an extrication and you hit, think about it, the jaws of life, you're trying to move that A-frame, okay, right, or cut that pillar.
And it triggers,
and there could be a sensor.
Something.
There could be a sensor there, and all of a sudden it triggers. So we had first come up with a Kevlar bag to put around that would then, if the airbag deployed, all the energy from the airbag would be vented back towards the firewall instead of at you and the victim. So, it's things like that people don't think about, right? Those little things. It's like the first thing you do if you see vehicles involved in an accident. Okay. By the way, the cops don't need to see how the vehicle's wound up on the road. So if you can move the car safely to the side, do so, because a lot of people get injured, not during the accident, but post-accident, because people aren't paying attention as
Or
they pass you.
watching, yeah.
So
yeah.
get to someplace safe.
You see too many
Okay?
videos
If
like
the
that.
cops weren't there to see it happen, if the cops didn't see it happen, don't worry, they're going to write down their story and your story. They're not going to come up with their own, okay? The other thing is kill the power. The first thing that the firefighters are going to do when they arrive on the scene is cut that battery cable.
Right.
Okay? Just to stop the energy within the vehicle. And look, carry a fire extinguisher. You want to be some help? Carry a fire extinguisher. And know where it is in your car. Okay? But look, the biggest problem with cars are exploding tires when you're fighting a car fire. If you're not approaching it the right way, you know, one of those tires, once it overpressurizes, is going to blow. And you have to hope that they got good wheels, quality wheels on that car. What used to be scary was all the hubcaps. Remember the hubcaps? You don't see as many hubcaps.
They would pop.
But boy, a hubcap became a very dangerous projectile during a tire explosion.
I could imagine. I see how they pop off on the highway, so I can imagine with force.
Remember the guys who would sell them on the side of the road? Have 3, not 4, but I got 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They actually still have them.
Yeah,
they do. Around, they do. I'm so glad they got rid of. Well, they didn't get rid of them. They're just not popular in New York. Those spinner hubcaps. I can't stand those. I just want to walk up with a mallet and just whack them so they stop spinning.
I love the people who drive with their brights on in the city. We have more lights in this city in New York that you sometimes don't know it's nighttime, okay? But people still love to drive with their brights on. Or the best yet, I love now the new road packages with all the lights on the roof of the Renegade, all the lights on the bumper and all.
Yeah.
You're not out in the woods. You're on Myrtle Avenue in Bushwick, okay?
I know. What are you trying to do? Land a plane with your car?
I can't see. After they pass, I'm
you got to pull over because you can't see.
Okay. I can't see anymore.
Hey, guys, it's about that time.
Oh, man, look.
All right.
Sneaks up on you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Merlin does.
Well, we're having fun. Time flies.
Time flies when you're squirreling.
This is true.
Well, Losco Heights, right? Trying to figure out where they're going without the blinker. How about the people that are making the perpetual left turn? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Get in the left lane, and that blink is still on, man. That's still on. We just went 8 miles. That blink is still on.
Blinker is still on?
Yeah.
An extra ping, ping, or something that the car's telling you that you left your blinker on?
Those who needs those noises? Come on now.
But it doesn't say it on the dashboard.
No cars.
It is. You got something going like this on the dashboard.
I don't drive a new car, and it tells me when I leave mine on it, you left your flash on.
Well, I know some people who need
you got to be able to read to.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
If you buy a Ford F-150 today, brand new, and the first time you get in, there's like 17 different charms that go off. You actually have to hack the software to turn half of them off.
Wow.
Okay, but it does. It sounds like you've just entered the symphony hall when you first step in with all the bells and chimes and whistles and everything else going on. To the point where you don't know if anything's wrong, really.
Right, because you're used to hearing all of these tones and everything.
Yeah.
Everything's going.
It's that time.
Bing, bong. Hey, guys.
Sean.
Yes, it is.
I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Lawrence, Matt, Tom, Ray. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight and talking drones and talking cars and steaks. Drones, cars, and steaks.
Hey, they all go together.
Everything a grown man needs to survive.
And women.
All that too, but
Please.
Yeah.
Don't be exclusive.
They're waiting in the house.
Yeah, but
They're
my
waiting
drone,
for us to
but my
get back
drone
to
and
the
stakes
driving
don't talk
profession.
back. Well, kinda, but never mind. I digress.
Now, is this going to be a lump at night now?
Yeah, lump at night.
Listen, we appreciate you all for coming and checking out Wednesday nights with those guys. Don't forget to check us out on Sunday nights with those guys on my
Everybody-
channel and every other channel in between. Roger goes on daily every morning. Paul goes on whenever he wants, Mondays regularly, but whenever he wants. There's still a lot of shows out there. Sean Geeks Vana, support his channel, support everybody's channel. We appreciate you guys.
Who's on tonight? Bill, Coast to Coast, right?
Bill's Coast to Coast is on soon.
And, Original Dobo, Ken Dono, he's
Yes,
on.
I think so.
I believe he's on tonight. Yeah, he should be. This is a regular night for him. So, with that, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat for stopping in and hanging out. And I'll see you next time on Phantom Flight 101 with those guys.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
care, all.
Yeah, and don't forget
And
to wear your
remember,
mask.
Sean on Geek Spawner tomorrow night. Take care, everyone.